she thrives in and we have access to as audience that is allowed to stay with her and follow her journey, but then also obviously the world that she lives in as part of her work life, and then ultimately her family, becomes her family. Maybe talk about, and it's a fraught thing because it's very specific. Many people in different cultures have different types of this experience, but it is hyper-specific to this time even in Mexico.
Yeah. So, yes, I think, and this is true a lot in Alfonso's films, and maybe Gravity not the best example, but a lot in Children of Men and Y Tu Mamá También, you see like all the layers, and it's Cleo's story, and you follow her and her life, but in that social contrast and in that ethnic contrast and in the political contrast, it's always there. And while it's an intricate part of the story, of her story, it's also, I think, like an additional character in what he's trying to transmit in the story. And it's true. It was true then, and I think it's still true today. I'm not from Mexico. I'm from Venezuela, and obviously Venezuela is in a much worse state than Mexico right now. But I also grew up with those social contrasts, and right now they're exacerbated. But it's a film where sort of you can palpate the diversity in all its layers. Ethnically, the women, like on how they come together and how they survive, and politically what's going on, and the ethnic, because in Mexico is very, very obvious and very apparent, and it's true today, but the ethnic discrepancy of that exists all over the country, and as you were saying, he layers that everywhere, and it's in the background, but it's also right there so you don't miss it.
One question I'm sure everyone had, and I certainly had, what is the relationship now? How did that relationship progress through Alfonso's life? Is there still a friendship, all of that?
With Libo?
Yeah.
The real Cleo? Oh, absolutely. She's amazing. She's the sweetest woman in the world. She has a daughter now. She's my age. And she still lives in Alfonso's family home. I don't know, she saw the movie and it's so sweet because she cried the first time and she was crying and crying. And I'm thinking, well, it must be really emotional to have a movie made about yourself and see yourself, in the big screen like that. And she was like, no, I'm crying because like the kids in the movie suffer so much. And I'm thinking, this is about you, not the kids. Like even in the real life, she's worried about the kids in the movie. I mean, she's amazing and she's super fun. She dances on tables when we take her out.
And Yalitza, I believe, played Cleo. This has been an amazing journey for her, I'm sure, but in talking to her through this process, will she continue to act? Has she caught the acting bug? What's her future, do you think? You've talked to her about it at all?
She would like, I think she would like to. She doesn't say much. She said that she's living this journey day by day, that she's amazed of everything she's getting to know and learning. She's a really beautiful person. I mean, she sees the world with the most beautiful eyes. She's also serene. She's not anxious. And I think she didn't even know she had the talent she has. So there's lots of questions going in her mind, I think. But I think she's taken it like really, really with lots of peace. Mm-hmm.
So then, again, you've been working so hard. I just have one last question. Through these months of being out in the world, celebrating this film, what surprised you the most in terms of reactions to the film?
I mean, to me, I feel that this movie, when we were making it, it was so intimate. It was very Mexican, full Mexican crew. It was very personal to Alfonso. It was, budget-wise as well, very contained compared to like Gravity or anything we've done before. So, I never, and I also, because of the intimacy of the story, I really thought it would be very local. Maybe, other Latin Americans would it's been amazing how in the festivals where it's played or screenings all over the world, people have connected to the story, and not only in a literal level of like, yes, the obvious stuff of like, this is a, you know, a housekeeper or a nanny and that story, but everyone sort of found their own connection to the story in their own ways. In Japan and here in the States and in the UK and other places in Europe, it's been amazing. And to me, that if I may call what I do art or in the art world,
You're at MoMA.
yeah, I'm a MoMA.